A couple seeking a marriage license this morning in Rowan County had a tense face-to-face meeting with County Clerk Kim Davis.
A disciplinary hearing for a Stanford police officer after an accident involving a man being killed by a Stanford City police cruiser.
If you are headed to the UK game Saturday, finding a parking space and navigating the stadium might be a little different. We'll tell you what you need to know.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 5.
More protests and confrontations today in a battle over marriage licenses.
Rowan County Clerk Kim Davis was ordered to start issuing the licenses yesterday, but she continues to refuse. She and her deputies will be in court tomorrow morning, where a judge will address Davis's decision. WKYT's Victor Puente is in Rowan County with our top story at 5.
This morning's attempt at a marriage license went basically the same as they have over the past few months. Kim Davis said they wouldn't be issuing any, and the couple trying to get married let her know how they felt about that decision. When the doors of the county clerk opened this morning, protesters had already lined up, but it wasn't until about 10:30 when they got really vocal.
Obey the law! Obey the law!
A couple from Columbus, Ohio said they came to Rowan County because of their Kentucky roots. One woman in the office told them they should try another county.
That's like me trying to force my dog to be fixed by a certain vet just because I want to stand there and cause trouble.
Amen, sister.
But they said they were just asking Davis to do the job she was elected to.
We've been together 20 years.
Davis told the couple she wasn't issuing any licenses and let them know this hadn't been easy on her.
Have you received death threats for what you say? No, it's not.
She briefly asked the sheriff's department to get involved after asking everyone to make room for her customers.
If you're being disruptive, there is every right to remove
You are being disruptive because we're here to get married and you're blocking that.
Robbie Blankenship and Jesse Cruz eventually left on their own, but said they'd be back tomorrow. Davis and her staff are due in federal court tomorrow for a contempt of court motion, but today her attorneys asked for a delay in those proceedings. As far as we know, that hearing is still on the docket. In Rowan County, Victor Puente, WKYT.
Now, Davis's attorneys have just filed their motion on why she should not be held in contempt. Among several reasons listed, it says it would irreversibly violate her conscience by directing her to authorize and issue licenses.
A mayor must decide the fate of a police officer who hit and killed a man while speeding down a central Kentucky road. The crash happened involving Stanford Officer Travis Richardson back in January. As our Phil Pendleton shows us, the mayor heard arguments for and against Richardson during a hearing today.
There were two sides arguing Officer Travis Richardson's fate today, one stating that the victim died because Officer Travis Richardson was speeding. The other side arguing that speeding was not the reason why this victim died.
What was your conclusion?
Approximately 90 miles per hour.
What was the speed limit on that road?
55.
Kentucky State Police investigated the collision between Officer Travis Richardson and 69-year-old Howard Robert Robbins. The trooper testified that Richardson was speeding when he struck the man. The room was set up just like a trial would be, with attorneys questioning witnesses, the Stanford mayor sitting in the jury box. Trooper Jeff Stith said Richardson was on his way to work about 9:30 that night when he hit Robbins, who was in the westbound lane of traffic. But Raymond Sutherland, who was called as a witness for Richardson, said his investigation shows that speed was not a factor in him hitting Robbins, and that it was because Robbins was in the road and he was wearing dark clothing. Mona Robbins, the victim's daughter, also took the stand and read from a statement.
At the least, he should have received a reckless driving citation. This has been a bad experience for all of us involved, but not as bad as it's obviously been for my father, whose only bad choice that night was to take a walk alongside the road.
And Stanford Mayor Eddie Carter now has 7 days to decide what happens next. In Lincoln County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
The Lincoln County Commonwealth's attorney tells us that Officer Richardson did not face charges because there was not evidence of alcohol or drugs in his system or other evidence that could be used in a criminal case.
The countdown to kickoff has begun. The Wildcats start their season Saturday in Lexington. Crews have spent the offseason making some improvements to Commonwealth Stadium. WKYT's Sean Moody shows us the changes and whether they'll be ready by game time.
With construction still happening here at Commonwealth Stadium and new traffic flows in effect, the most important thing police say you can bring to this weekend's football game is patience.
It is going to be congested. There is going to be traffic issues.
Police say anyone planning to go to Saturday night's football game needs to be there as early as possible. This will be the first game since renovations at the stadium started and Alumni Drive was rerouted.
Become familiar with the roundabouts. That's going to be something new this year. So follow the direction of the officers and the signs that will be in those roundabouts.
UK Athletics Director Mitch Barnhart said they've sold more than 59,000 tickets to the game. He's hoping for a sellout. Crews are still working on some of the details inside the stadium. Barnhart said those crews would be putting in a lot of hours between now and game time to get as many things ready as possible. He said most people shouldn't notice anything unfinished.
The vast majority of our fans will experience a finished stadium.
Now, there will also be some changes to the ways that you can park off campus for football games. I'll show you how one church is trying to make the experience a little better coming up on WKYT News at 6. In Lexington, Sean Moody, WKYT.
Miller Transportation will run shuttles between downtown and campus, and I think that is key. Pack your patience with you when you go Saturday for that first one.
Build in some extra time for sure.
Yeah. Well, it is another warm and humid day across the area.
It is. The summertime air means a chance, though, for storms as well. Our chief meteorologist, Chris Bailey's here with an early check of the forecast. Hey, Chris.
Yeah, a couple of isolated boomers out there across parts of eastern Kentucky as of right now. That's going to be the trend over the next few days, guys. It's basically a cookie cutter of a forecast. You just stamp it, put it ahead for the next couple of days, though a little increase in some juice over the next few days should lead to a slightly better storm chance. Look outside, a steamy WKYT weather garden. A lot of upper 80s showing up across central and eastern Kentucky as of now. Humidity into the mix. It certainly feels a lot warmer than it really is. Defender picking up on a couple of boomers, as we mentioned, across eastern Kentucky, right on top of Moorhead, southeastern parts of Rowan County especially, getting in on some thunder and lightning. Elliotteville, that's right on top of the Elliott County line. That'll work its way toward parts of Morgan County. It's dropping basically due south out of the Buckeye State. That's where it originated from a few hours ago. Additional showers and storms into parts of Ohio. What you see there is eventually going to try to set up shop across much of central and eastern Kentucky over the next couple of days. So the steam continues this evening, mid and upper 80s, then we'll slowly drop it through the 70s as we go into the latter part of the evening. Your steamy temperatures roll on with a threat for a thunderstorm or two in that hour-by-hour forecast. And when we come back in a few minutes, guys, not only will we take you through the big Labor Day weekend, we'll focus on some changes that show up toward the end of that 7-day. Maybe a little heat relief finally on the way. That's in a few minutes.
A Lexington man has been arrested for distributing child pornography. 27-year-old Ryan Diaz is charged with 5 counts. Police say they found an account linked to a computer in his home that had been sharing the files. According to an arrest citation, police searched Diaz's home and found 5 files. Police took computer equipment from the home and it will be examined at the state police lab. A scam alert today from the state treasurer's office. Crooks have been calling people in Kentucky pretending to be from the IRS. The scammers claim you owe the IRS money and threaten legal action if you don't pay up. The treasurer's office says the IRS does not initially contact taxpayers by phone, so if you get a call like this, it is probably a scam.
A key victory today for the Obama administration after securing enough support for its nuclear deal with Iran. Republicans in Congress had promised to block the deal, but as Mark Albert shows us, it appears they lack the votes.
We cannot.
Maryland Senator Barbara Mikulski sealed the Iran deal for President Obama. On Wednesday, she became the 34th Democratic senator to announce her support, meaning Republicans do not have the votes to stop it. No deal is perfect, Mikulski said in a statement, but it's the best option available to block Iran from having a nuclear bomb.
We are telling Iran that it can't have a nuclear weapon, period.
Minutes after getting Mikulski's support, Secretary of State John Kerry, who negotiated the landmark agreement, said the deal holds Iran accountable. His speech was carried live in Iran. Secretary Kerry tried to reassure members of Congress with this letter, pledging to defend Israel and security in the Middle East. But Republicans are not swayed. House Speaker John Boehner said the White House may have convinced just enough Democrats to back an agreement that legitimizes Iran's nuclear program, trusts the regime to self-inspect, and offers amnesty to terrorists, but this deal is far from being implemented. Congress's options appear to be limited. President Obama could veto any resolution, and Democrats now say they have enough votes to sustain that veto. Mark Albert for CBS News, Washington.
This morning, Vice President Joe Biden tweeted the Iran deal is the best available option to block Iran from a bomb if it is our nation's security interest. A judge denied a request from the lawyers for 6 officers charged in a man's death. We'll tell you what they're asking for.
There have been questions about the safety of e-cigarettes, but researchers say there can be benefits for smokers. The findings of a new study in Better Living.
And we are learning more about the victim of a deadly shooting. Hear how he's being remembered on WKYT News at 5:30.